RAG, or retrieval augmented generation. This becomes a buzzword nowadays, right? Everyone talks about RAG. But what it is actually and what kind of problem it actually solves. Let's understand in this video with certain demonstration programmatically we'll explain and understand the power of RAG. So let's begin. In this particular graph, what I wanted to show is, let's say I'm a user and I have some specific SAP question which I'm asking to my LLM. And LLM has lots of knowledge, of course, that's been trained with a big data corpus, but that LLM might not have the specific detailing what I'm actually looking for. So the response would be more of a incorrect or maybe a very generic, and we call it hallucination, right? It's very much frustrating, and you see that what's going on. This. So RAG is actually can solve the problem in this case. In this diagram, I'm showing a very simple architecture which we'll use to create a simple app to explain the RAG behavior. Think about, I have lots of documentations. It can be SAP documentations or maybe organization specific documentations that I just want to use as my context. Because when LLM was giving me a response, it was very much generic response in earlier slide I was showing. So it doesn't have the context, and that's why its answer was very much generic and it was very much hallucinated. So I want to set up a context first. So that documentations I want to convert into a vector form. Vector is what? It's kind of a array of lots of numbers, you think. Okay, I'll show you how the embedding looks like. Now for that we need a specific model, and I'm using a nomic embedded text. Its purpose is it will convert a text or information into some vector format. Now we need a database to store that vectors, and here I'll be using a ChromaDB for that. Okay, so ChromaDB will store all my documentation in a vector format. Now when I'll ask a question, the same question will be converted into a vector text, which is an embedding, and with that embedding I'll go to this ChromaDB to search. So it is more of a similarity search of the two vectors. Some concept we use sometimes called cosine similarity, for example. So using those kind of a technique, now I can search this ChromaDB which closely matches my query, right? And from there I'll get the context from this database. Because the same context wise I'll get maybe results out of this ChromaDB. It is showing as the top K retrieval, means if it matches, maybe I want to just retrieve top 2 important documentations in vector format out of this ChromaDB. That it means top K retrieval. Okay, and that actually sets the context for me, that what context I want to pass it to my LLM, which was missing in the earlier scenario, right? So now the LLM does have the context along with the query. And then when it generates the response, it's more relevant to what I actually looking for. So for that, to embed, I just actually downloaded this nomic embed text to my Olama platform by this pull request, docker execute interactive format, Olama pull nomic embed text. It downloads this entire model, and now with this curl command I actually can see the model that installed in my Docker. Already I installed Olama as a platform. In another video I explained how this I did, so I'm not discussing. If you have a question and you want to also do it, then you can check out this video. So here are two models. One is my nomic embed text and another is the Llama 3. These two models I'll be using in this demonstration. At the same time, I also installed the ChromaDB. Okay, so this actually running in this under port 8000. Okay, if I go to my Docker, you can see currently this Olama running at port 1144. If I run, you will see, yes, Olama is running. Fantastic, right? Also, this ChromaDB is running in port 8000. So let's create a simple app with certain node modules. I am using ChromaDB for as my database to connect with, and Axios I'll be using for making API calls to my LLM platform. This is my Chroma client running on port 8000. So this I'll be using to interact with my Chroma database. And the first one is a get embedding from Ulama. So what I need this particular model to generate the embeddings. Whatever text I will pass, it will generate the embedding out of. Let's come to this store documents. This particular function does what? So store document means its job is to now store the organization specific information, which I'll be using as my context, right, to convert into the vector format and then store into the Chroma database. So that is the purpose. So now I'm creating a collection first, and then I'm saying, hey, this is my organization database. So obviously it's super simplified. In your case, it will be obviously a lot of repository details, a lot of documentations, which you use in your organization. So that large data set you'll be using as your context, and that you will be storing in your vector database, right? So this is what I'm storing over here. So my vector database now stored with my all the context. All right, finally, what I have to do when I make a query to my LLM, I'll first go to ChromaDB to search which documentation closely matches with my query. So for that, I'll be doing certain similarity checks, right? So query will be first getting into embedding also first. So my query has to be converted into vector format. Now with this embeddings, I'll go to the collection and I'll find the top match documents, right? 2 documents I'll be searching out of, let's say. And thus I'm just returning out of this function. So far so good, right? What the final state? Final state is to create a prompt with the context and the query. Not just the query, but also I'm providing the context along. Before I make a query to my LLM to generate the final response. So let's say I put this question that why my IDOC status is 51. So this question I'll pass it to this search function, means that query will convert into vector. My vector database already having the context stored, right? Here I'm just setting up that context. Then I'm making a query on this particular line that why IDOC status is 51. That query will be now converted into embeddings here, means vector, and then I'll just search and get the closest documentations out of this function. Finally, that documentations and my query together, I'll pass it to my LLM to make my response much better. So let's see, let's run node index, sorry. What will happen? You see the document stored and retrieve documents is this too. And now it is going there to LLM to generate the final response. So this information end user will not see. End user see only this one. Okay, so I think it is getting 2 business partner replication fails. That's giving some misleading answer. Let me do one thing. Let me set this only the top notch first prompt, not first document, which matches very most, right? Not everything. Okay, so let's see, it will be then, because here what it's saying, it's an LLM response, but this much is okay. But along with this, it's also adding up this business partner, which is not truly relevant with my question, right? So what I'll do, I just removed from 2 to 1 only the top first match context I want, not anything else. So now it matches the first one called IDOC status 51. So if I get the response now from LLM, it will be more focused. You see, based on the given context, IDOC status 51 means application error. Therefore, the answer to your question would be the IDOC status is 51 because there is an application error. So here the RAG helps to setting up the context. Let me give you one more example, then you will understand the power of RAG. Okay, let's change the question to something like, where do you see CDS being used? Okay, some random questions on CDS. Let's see what it does. Okay. Now it matches the CAPM service use CDS models because the vector search closely matches with this document. And see the answer. Now you see the in CAPM, which is means credit agricole portfolio management, right? Service CDS is a credit default swap models are being used. Hey, this is completely a generic answer and it doesn't fit with my SAP context, isn't it? So let's improve the context a little bit. So we can put this way that CAPM cloud application programming model, and CDS we can say core data service. So now what I have to do, it matches. If I put one as the closely matches, then it will take this one, of course. But side by side, I need to have this knowledge also as a part of the context. So instead of one, let's change it to two, and let's two pass together as a context to my model. And now if I run node index, yeah, it's actually picking two knowledge details, like one is the CAPM and other is the acronym to a full form. And now with that, let's see how it represents the answer. And you now see, based on the context of our answer, CDS, which is a core data service, is mainly being used in SAP's CAPM, which is cloud application programming models, right? So that's the power of RAG. Now it sets a context, and now LLM is able to respond in more a precise way, which actually what as a user I was looking for. Hope the video was informative to you and you get something good out of this. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section, and subscribe my channel. If you are coming to my channel for the first time, I create content on SAP related topics only, and in future you should not miss out anything I publish. Thanks for watching. Shortly connect to the next video. Goodbye till then.